226 million, it means it's still...
did you, sorry,
yeah.
Did you include the 171? Did you bring forward the 171?
No, we did not bring forward.
Sorry.
Yeah, we did not bring forward. We just then captured the very financial year, we captured that figure. We also had, part of the reason why sometimes we miss on-source revenue targets, also we have had court cases. You know, sometimes, for example, says, we had an issue within a court, eventually we sat down and agreed. Nandi County Chair, if you indicate that you worked in Nandi County, part of our huge revenue stream is also rates from, land rates from the multinational tea estates. Sometimes we have tussles with them, agreeing on the amount, and sometimes we have one financial year they go without paying. When we finally settle an agreement and they pay the amount, it will reflect in the next financial year as an increase that is marked significant increase, but then we are working towards ensuring that we have evaluation role so that we have a standard, figure from our run rates that can be predictable. So I agree, we are putting strategies to ensure that we increase our own source revenue, being realistic, but also being ambitious enough to push ourselves to raise enough of our own source revenue so that we increase our percentage of development based on own source rather than just waiting for the money from national government. The pending bill, I didn't quite get your question, Chair, on the pending bill.
I say, out of the 6 projects that we have,
yeah.
You have said that you have 6 toll projects, and of which these projects are, some of them are done up to 40%. But it's shown that this amount of money that was paid is not shown as a pending bill, or it's not said, it's not shown as paid. So is that an erroneous statement you have made, or you can have an explanation for that?
Chair, when a project is 20, 30, 50% complete, or done, you wouldn't certify it as pending bill until a certificate is issued so that we know that that contractor who had been awarded that project is no longer on site or no longer interested in working on the site, so that then you close up that account, get the, capture that percentage, whatever the value is. If it is going to be the 30% or 40% value, you then can generate it as part of the pending bill once a certificate of works has been done, so that he is no longer on site. But some of these projects, some of the contractors are still on site, some of them are still interested in working, others, and even when others have indicated they are no longer interested, sometimes that process of closing up that account takes long. So that could explain why we have that kind of a disparity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe one more other question. One of your concerns was that where you are having vendor bills, at times extra delays, and you commit funds, or you commit the funds for the development partners. And sometimes they don't pay the same amount of money required. They reduce the budget at times. So what happens now, like the Treasury, definitely they will release the funds, but they may release it later, after that financial year. So where does that money go after it comes to your account, to your account? Funds released already delayed, like this time now, we have the additional fund being retained. Okay? And the financial year is almost ending. So when that fund is released, where does it go? Do you use it as recurrent, or it goes to development? Am I clear?
Would you allow me to ask my CC to respond to this, Chair?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair, through the Governor. When we have a delayed disbursement of whatever number of months, when it comes, we rebudget in the current financial year. And that, in most cases, will have been captured again by the CARA. Like last year, we missed one 1 month installment. When it finally came, we received it in July into this year. It was in Kara as a block figure of 31 million to counties, courtesy of what was left behind last year. So we put it in our budget together with all the items that were due to be settled using that. In Nandi, for example, we received 584 million in July, which was June money. We had to work our supplementary budget, now increasing it by 584 in the funding, the resource envelope, and capturing an equivalent number of projects worth of the same amount under expenditure. So we do that. Thank you, Chair.
So on the same graph now, I'm seeing that spending bills are always increasing. And you know, in every given time, when you commit fund for a certain project, the fund must be available. Or it's either carried forward because you are expecting that money, that the money that has not been paid by the Treasury to cover. That money is not being cleared because that's why the spending bills are every time building up and increasing. Then you guys change your priorities. So why does spending bills always exist in every county?
Point of order, Chair.
Yeah.
I don't know if what you're talking about is corresponding what we have here. 2023-2024, the pending bill is at 177.97 as at March 2024. So you have only 3 months to the end of the financial year. So are you telling us you've paid that much money and you are left with only 177 plus the 3 months remaining?
What do I say? Very bills are always on increase. And some of the reasons you have given is delays of treasury money. Or the donors, I mean your partners, like World Bank and all these things, changing the budgets. Okay?
Yeah.
And that is a deficit of whatever budget was planned for. But at times, treasury money does not change because it's already been paid for it.
Yeah.
Yes. So what happens? Why is the benefit always increasing? By the years.
You know, Chair, as I think Senator Tangwa had also pointed out to this, part of the other bigger contribution to the pending bill is also underperformance of our own source revenue. And you see this, you know, if you have an accumulated, if you miss your own source revenue 2-3 financial years running, you definitely, you know, you have nowhere to plug in. The National Treasury money will come eventually, yes, but for the own source revenue that you have missed your targets, that becomes a challenge that you have to continuously carry. And I can, for example, if you are to do for our county, since the advent of devolution, you know, we have had, other than this financial year, last financial year, where we had we achieved 112% performance on source revenue, all the others were below, and therefore all this led to an accumulation of pending bills that we have to find a way of continuously, you know, dealing with it. So underperformance by own source revenue contributes to a bigger extent.
Okay,
Chair, actually, as we speak.
Zena?
Okay, Zena, all right.
Thank you, Chair, and apologies for being late, but I was following online. I had some committees meetings.
Naam, mtazamaji, huyo ni Gavana wa Nandi akihojiwa na kamati kuhusu masuala ya ugatuzi, wakizungumzia masuala ya mapato ya kaunti na ni vipi serikali hiyo ya kaunti inakusanya mapato yake, na maswali kuhusiana ni kwa nini kaunti inaokota yale mapato ya chini. Ndio masuala ambayo tutakuwa tunayafuatilia baadaye ili tukujuze zaidi katika taarifa zetu zijazo.